Meet Serena, your virtual companion for emotional support. The ultimate safe space to discuss your thoughts, your fears, and the ups and downs of daily life. Start your free trial today at serena.chat.
Am I the asshole for taking only my parents on trips? F 28, is in a relationship for over 7 years now. It was long distance for the first few years and we moved in together a year ago. My parents, especially my mom, loved to travel. But they struggled most of their lives to make ends meet and couldn't travel much. They provided me with best of everything that they can and has been incredibly supportive of me. I had decided early on in my life that once I start earning, I would travel with them. So when I got job at 23, I started saving up money for trips. I take them out whenever I visit, and take them on trips. We have traveled internationally a couple years back. My boyfriend knew how important all this is to me. After moving in together, we decided to split household expenses 50-50, maintained in a joint account. All leftover money was for self-use. I saved up money this year too, to take my parents on another trip. It's another checklist item for me. I told my boyfriend a week back about this. He seemed upset about this though. On nudging, he cracked and told me he is deeply upset I don't take his family on any trip and it hurts I don't think of them as parents too. I told him as their child it was his responsibility to take them, not mine. He blew up at me saying how I easily outearn him, how he is managing mortgage by himself, I paid the down payment fully, it was our deal, and he has to pay off his car. He said as his I should be more considerate and it feels like I am rubbing on his face what he can't do for his parents. That I am hurting his parents by prioritizing mine and making them feel he isn't a good son. So am I the asshole here? From comments. Because I am getting a bashing down there. 1. We studied in same class for same course and is in same profession. I passed and completed the course 3 years earlier than him. That means when he was home studying for exams or chilling, I was working insane hours and studying. 2. We knew from start because of this gap years, I will have a job earlier than him. We discussed moving in together early on in relationship, before I got the job even. It was decided together that I would stay in crammed shared spaces, live frugally, so I can save up for our down payment. It was important to both of us to own a property together and this was the fastest most financially wise choice. 3. When he got a job too, I put down 50% amount from savings and he took a loan for his 50% share. That is the mortgage portion he is paying now himself. 4. With income disparity we knew there would be financial issues. Our budget is reached mutually. He doesn't fund my luxurious lifestyle, we split utilities and groceries. Quite frankly, he doesn't even contribute to snacks. I buy it out of my own personal money. 5. I take us out on dates. I pay for our vacations. We take small trips with his parents too. I just don't take his parents on international vacations. 6. He is not hard-strapped for cash. We are living within his means. He has enough expendable income. He take bike trip with his friends, give money to his parents, help brother out etc. He just cannot afford to take his parents on international vacations. 'Cause that is a real luxury item. 7. If he wanted to study, I will take up whole expense. He is not a SAHP and never will be, 'cause we don't want kids. Neither of us. 8. We are 7 years into relationship. Not married yet 'cause we are saving up for the wedding. I am, for now. And he needs more time. House is in both our names. Info. Do you make significantly more money than him? How much money does he get for personal use each month compared to you? I feel like this is not so much about the trip, but potentially about bottled up resentment from feeling financially strained while watching you save up for expensive vacations. He sounds like an asshole in this post, but it also might be misguided anger. Not the asshole, if he wants them to come he should pay for them. They are his parents. Not the asshole. Your habit of trips with your parents is not about him, or his relationship with his parents. Not the asshole. These are your boyfriend's parents, they are not your in-laws because you are not married. And if you were married, he could be sad you and your parents aren't going on a trip together. But it would be very unusual for your parents and his parents to travel together. Maybe after you've been married for years and they know each other and get along. My parents met my in-laws at the wedding and exchanged Christmas cards with them but they never saw each other again. Not the asshole. You have paid your half in everything. The budget is decided together I think? And you have stated in comments that you stay within mutually agreed budget and buy anything out it with your own money. Also stated as you fund vacations for both of you. That's more than fair. Am I the asshole for telling my nephew that his birthday present was sold behind his back? I'm angry but would like perspective. Throwaway because family uses Reddit. I am unmarried and do not have children, so I don't understand this situation from a parent standpoint. I have a niece, Kay 21, and a nephew, Joe 16. My sister and her husband have spent the last few years, since the pandemic started, trying to get Kay sorted. By that I mean she has a lot of unexplained ailments. They've been seeing specialists, chiropractors, acupuncture, etc. To this day I'm still not entirely sure what is wrong. Kay posts on social media a lot about feeling fatigued, having migraines, weakness, and other symptoms along with her various appointments. Personally, I worry this is being driven by attention because it has become her entire personality. I try to help Kay when I can. I've taken her to a few appointments because she doesn't drive, but I've tried to be present mostly for Joe, who is overshadowed by all of this. Joe is a very simple young man and doesn't ask for much, but I can tell he wants some attention. He makes this known by pushing himself in sports, getting the best grades, getting a job, and trying to be as independent as possible. He's 16 but acts 20. It kind of sucks to watch. For his birthday I bought 2 tickets to a football game and transferred them to my sister so that she or her husband could take him. I told them that if they absolutely couldn't then I would, but they accepted the tickets. Fast forward a couple weeks later and I see a post from my sister selling 2 football game tickets, and they were very quickly bought. I confronted her and said those tickets were for Joe. Her response was they needed help covering new allergy testing for Kay, and that's what the money would be used for. I took Joe to lunch yesterday and asked him how he is really doing. He was honest and said he doesn't feel like an equal member of his family, and I told him I see it too. I asked him why he agreed to sell his birthday tickets and learned he never did and never even knew anything about them. I told him the sequence of events. He was quiet for a bit and then sighed and accepted it. To my surprise, he must have said something to his parents because they called me for a conversation, accusing me of being an asshole and saying I hurt Joe's feelings and that he was better off not knowing. I disagree wholeheartedly but am open to other perspectives. Am I the asshole? And yes, I am trying to buy new tickets for Joe. Update. I'll try to respond to people as I can. I spoke with Joe individually today. I'm not surprised, but he said he confronted them because he wanted them to give me the money back. As usual, the kid is thinking of others. While I don't want to be accused of trying to turn him against his parents, I do want to follow his lead in regards to him potentially staying with me. That said, I am going to make more of an effort to spend more time with him. As far as Kay is concerned, I know her health issues are very real and I want more than nothing for her to feel well. However, she has been behaving manipulatively towards her parents, grandparents, myself, and Joe for a while now. Again, I worry that how she is dealing with her ailments is unhealthy for her and the family. We all support her and do what we can to support her and help her to be well. Not the asshole. And now you know that if you want to do something nice for Joe, you have to do it in a way that the parents won't be able to block, i.e., taking him yourself. But, it may not be that Kay is attention whoring. Her misery may be her whole personality because the condition of unknown etiology is making her miserable all the time. Well, from now on to give the kid the presents directly to him. Experiences would be best, like a road trip or something that can't be sold out from under him. And now the kid knows his parents sold his tickets for his birthday, and didn't even tell him anything about it. Of course the parents are upset at being outed. Bad behaviorists don't like being exposed. Not the asshole. Doesn't your sister realize she basically stole the tickets? There is absolutely nothing to justify her actions. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. My parents also had a preferred child. It was trash rolling on the floor laughing. The parents are thieves. Poor kid. Make sure his next gift is an experience they can't sell, and take him in when he inevitably goes no contact at 18. Am I the asshole for refusing to take care of my 2-year-old niece after her surgery? Me, 18Y, F. Have a complicated relationship with my sister, 23Y, F. After she announced her, unplanned, pregnancy 2 years ago, I told her from the start that I would not be helping her take care of her child, and she said she was fine with it. My sister has always been an irresponsible person that often only thinks about her well-being and what she wants and doesn't take other people's feelings or life in account. She also throws her problems at my family when she doesn't feel like dealing with them. Needless to say, after my niece was born, my sister quickly realized that taking care of a child is actually hard. Me on the other hand have never liked kids and express often how much I dislike being around them. It's not just because they are loud and annoying. I do hang out with my niece often when my family is home and we play a lot. The real problem is when I am home alone with her. I get easily overwhelmed and stressed because I'm scared she could fall and get hurt and it would be my fault because she is under my responsibility. I don't plan on having kids because I know I can't handle the responsibility nor the commitment that comes with it, and I also have told that multiple times to my family. Fast forwards to 1 week ago. My niece has a scheduled surgery to remove her tonsils and my niece's father, 31, was supposed to stay with her until her recover of 3 days, but 1 week before the surgery my sister and my niece's father, I will call him Nick, decided to break up. For reference, my sister and Nick have broken up this past year around 4 times already and gotten back together. Every time that happens my sister moves in with my mother and me, disrupts our life completely, brings chaos, and then goes back to Nick after 2 weeks of drama and fighting. This time they decided to break up 1 week before the surgery and now neither of them want to talk to each other. Of course this has a direct impact on me because my sister and my mom will be working and I am the only one that has the time to take care of my niece, even though Nick took the days off of work to stay with my niece for the surgery. But because neither of them want to talk to each other, I was assigned to stay with my niece until her recovery. I have told my family how I don't feel comfortable to stay 8 hours per day alone with my niece, especially since she came out of surgery, and I also think that my niece wants to be comforted by her parents after her surgery and not her aunt that dislikes kids. I told my sister to put her feelings aside and focus on what's more important, her daughter's surgery, but she doesn't want to hear any of that. This past days I have been trying to convince my sister of not letting me stay with my niece, but every time I bring the conversation up I get shut down by my family and told that I am the asshole for not supporting my sister through this rough time. The question is, am I really the asshole for not wanting to take care of my niece after her surgery? Not the asshole. Why don't you contact Nick and tell him when to come get his kid? Not the asshole. These people need to grow the fuck up and be parents for the sake of their daughter. Not the asshole, but WTH is wrong with Nick and your sister that they let a petty argument, they broke up again, stand in the way of caring for their sick child? Not the asshole. Her kid, her problem. She needs to put aside her personal pettiness and do what's best for her child. Make yourself unavailable if you have to. Leave the house and stay out until you know your sister is home. Childcare is not your responsibility. Info. Do you have Nick's number? Am I the asshole for not telling the woman I work for that I'm transgender? Before I start this, I want to make everyone aware that I have fully medically transitioned. I've had top surgery, I've been on testosterone for almost 7 years now, and I fully pass as a male. So I am a nanny. I sadly had a really hard time in school when I was younger due to my mental health and couldn't keep up with my schoolwork, causing me to not be able to get into college. So I decided instead of going to community college I would use the money I saved for college from working to fully medically transition. It was great. I had finally felt good in my body and was truly happy for the first time. Money was scarce and I love kids, so I decided to start babysitting. One of my first jobs was a nice single mom. We'll call her Lily. Her husband had died pretty early on in the pregnancy, so she's been alone from the start. Her kid, let's call him Ryan, is a pretty hyper kid. And before you say, isn't every kid a little hyper? No. I mean this kid is hyper like he is bounce off the walls hyper. So when she came home one night from a long night at work to peaceful sleeping child, she was overjoyed, and she has continuously told me that is one of the main reasons she hired me. I quickly became Ryan's full-time nanny, teaching his mom how to make things like brushing his teeth or eating fun for him. She always praises me and tells me what good of a man I am and how she is so impressed on how feminine and motherly I am to children. Which, yes, kinda rubbed me the wrong way. My mother every once in a while comes and visits, and this past weekend she was in town, so she decided to come visit. We were walking around the local farmers market catching up when we ran into Ryan and his mom. I have weekends off, but it is always nice to see Ryan outside of when I'm babysitting him, so I went and said hi and introduced the two to my mom. Lily and my mom hit it off immediately, and my mom asked that they become Facebook friends. Now I don't have Facebook, so I've never actually seen my mom's posts. So it was my surprise when Lily sent me a Facebook post about my transition made by my mom. Lily went off on me. She started cursing me out, calling me slurs of all kind, and telling me I should be ashamed of myself. She told me that the only reason she hired me was because I was a man and she wanted for Ryan to have a father figure in his life. She continued to lecture me about how I'll always be a woman. And how she can't believe she let a monster touch her child. I am shattered. I can't believe that this woman that I trusted and that was becoming one of my closest friends was a transphobic monster. I have been cut out from her and Ryan's life completely and she has blocked me on everything. I admit I know it was wrong to not tell her that I was trans, but I consider that something very private due to it being something that I can get harmed for. I know it is not my fault for what Lily believes, but I still feel guilty about letting Ryan live with that woman. Am I the asshole? And #X200B. Not the asshole. No one is obligated to know what your chromosomes are, or your genitals, or your organs. No one. Not your employer, not the government, no one except the people for whom your body and life become something they should probably know about, like a committed intimate partner. Why does this woman need to know about your genitals? Why does she need to know about your gametes? It's insane for anyone to believe they aren't entitled to know this about anyone else. You were not wrong, and this woman who attacked you because of who you are and because you didn't tell her about what's in your pants and what shape your chromosomes are was a complete, disgusting, insufferable bigot. Not the asshole at all. You do not have to disclose to anyone that you don't want to. It has no bearing on your ability to do your job. No one has the right to demand it of you. I am so sorry that this has happened to you. Maybe you can explain to your mother about how her actions have impacted on you and if she could bear this in mind in future. You boss is not a good person and I'm sorry you had to find out this way. Not the asshole. I don't really think that being trans is something you really need to tell an employer, is it? Is not the asshole. It was not wrong of you not to tell her. There was no reason to tell her. Thank your mom for losing your employment and a child losing a much-needed male role model. What an asshole.